All right, just take a deep breath. I hope you're sitting down because AI is coming to replace your expertise, your best employees, and take over your entire business operations without any human oversight. At least that is what the headlines would make you believe. In this video, we're going to talk about AI agents and what they are and what they aren't, and what you need to know about AI and automation so that way you can leverage it for your own business to help remove you as a bottleneck, not so you can walk away from your business, but so you can be more effective in your business and serve your customers better. Now, AI agents is a phrase that I love and I hate. It's been thrown around there and now it seems like it's just part of our vocabulary, like it's actual truth. Like there's like a real AI agent, a real robot that people are gonna sell you to go into your business and just, Skynet, take over the entire world, remove people from the equation, and somehow still provide actual value to customers. Well, I'm here to tell you that I think AI agents aren't even a real thing. If you think about what automation is before AI even came into play, what even technology is before AI came into play, it's really just a bunch of code. And code is what is called deterministic, meaning that it has a predictable outcome. It's like a mousetrap. If you take a marble and put it in the top of a mousetrap, it rolls down the whole thing and comes out the end every single time. So that is code. Now with AI has the ability to pull meaning and context from things that aren't structured. So say a document, this recording, the transcript, it could pull stuff out of it and create context and reasoning around that and then give that back to you in a way that code couldn't. However, with AI on its own, if you've ever played around in a chatbot, which I'm sure you have, and if you haven't, I don't know why you're watching this video. You need to go and just start playing with AI a little bit and then come back and then we can talk a little bit more about the AI agent side of things. But AI, without any kind of harness, without any kind of cage, is just a wild animal. It's just gonna go off and do whatever it needs to do based on probability and being really good at pattern matching and giving you back what it thinks you want. Now, it's going to be slightly different every single time, so this makes it really bad in a business setting when you need consistent output for your customers or for your internal operations, your internal teams. And so when we're thinking about AI agents and the idea of just deploying a robot into your company, that is not at all what you should be thinking of when somebody tries to pitch you an AI agent or a new company is including AI agents into their product or service. Now, this is going to become especially critical for you as a small business owner when you have agencies coming and pitching you their services. They're going to be pitching you AI agents and they want to deploy these agents into your systems. And then on the back end, they're going to want to maintain it. They're going to want to charge a retainer. And I'm here to tell you that you can build your own AI agents without the need of a third party. You don't need a computer science degree. You don't need to know how to code. You don't need to understand the technical things about it like you would when it was just coding, because AI is really good at understanding code. All right, and so now we need to move into what it actually means for your workflow, because we might be thinking about AI agents. You may have played around a little bit with Claude, with OpenAI, ChatGPT, Google Gemini, and you might be thinking, yeah, it's impressive. It gives some great answers, but I really haven't found a way for it to really amplify my workload. I feel like it's just kind of adding some extra steps. I sometimes go down the rabbit hole because it'll always ask you in return, like, hey, do you want me to then do this thing afterwards? And sometimes it's really hard to trust, I'm sure you've felt this way, to know if it's just telling you what you want to hear. And to a certain degree, it is. It's telling you what it thinks you want based on pattern matching. And the more that you engage with the chatbot or the LLM or whatever you want to call it, or the AI agent, the more it starts to pattern match based on the conversation. So it'll start to hone in on little details in the feedback of what you give it and start to kind of go into a loop. And it can get really bad, actually. It can actually get really frustrating working with the AI because the fact that it's pattern matching now based on the back and forth that you have just given it in that session. So I understand all of the limitations when it comes to AI. I've been working with AI now since before there was ChatGPT, as in like you could log in and chat with it. This is pre-ChatGPT, but OpenAI still had access to their models and certain businesses were building certain things with it, and I was using it for writing. And at the time I realized this is incredible However, when you looked at it deeper, it was so confidently wrong. So I understand if you have a ton of hesitancy around this idea of AI agents and really not thinking that it's right for your business and that it couldn't possibly understand your expertise or how to deliver and serve your particular subset of clients. And you probably also think it's all about relationships. I build my business on the back of relationships. I have good people on my team that I want to work with, that I want to be able to give them a place to work and have them be able to provide for their families. And so I don't want to remove that. And that really is, I think, the benefit of learning about AI agents and how you can harness them in your business, because it's not about replacing, it's about enhancing. Your expertise is being limited by your own systems right now in your own operations if you're not leveraging something like AI. And especially if you're not even taking AI out of the equation, if you're not leveraging workflow automations. Now you may be plugged into something like a Zapier, but I'm here to let you know that you can go so much further and so much more customized with something like a Claude Code, which again, don't let the name fool you. It's not about coding. It's about learning how to harness the LLM and then putting it into a box and making that box something that contains a little piece of the magic that you can repeat again and again and again, and you're using code to then trigger that magic. So what does this look like in practical use cases? I mean, I've talked on and on about AI agents and how I don't think AI agents is really the right way to go about it. It's really just code with AI now interplayed within that. And I'm also telling you a crazy promise that you yourself could actually leverage AI. You don't need to hire some outside agency or developer. You could totally own this in-house. That way you can then create the ability to know when it's good and when it's not good. But what does that even mean? What does that mean for you? The best way to understand how to leverage AI is first to get out of the technology itself and what I would say go analog. Pull out a journal, pull out a pen, and start thinking about your day. Think about the things that you do over and over again that if you were to stop doing, your business would fall apart, or you'd have a team member reaching out to you, asking you what's going on here. And think about the knowledge that you have, the expertise that you haven't documented well. Think about those things, because again, this is just another simple business practice. It has nothing to do with AI. It's just creating your standard operating procedures. Do you have those documented anywhere? And if you do have them documented somewhere, I guarantee you that they're just living somewhere that no one's checking, because that's just the wonderful thing about working with humans and not with AI, is that you can do all of the stuff you're supposed to do, but then you have the human variable, which is having them actually go and read the document and follow the document. And then if something changes, updating the document and making sure that document is updated in other areas. Is there multiple sources of truth? Is this database over here matching this database over here? Or did you stack different platforms on top of each other, try to band-aid different solutions? And now you have, multiple different platforms that are kind of doing a little bit of this here, a little bit of that there, but they're not syncing and talking to each other. I don't know if that sounds like your operation, but I know that is a lot of operations out there. Even the large corporations. I work for one of the largest tech companies in the world, and I can tell you that it is built in silos, and communicate is fractured. Sources of truth are everywhere. There is no source of truth. So this is not just a problem with your small business. This is a problem across all businesses. This is something that AI can help facilitate, to create unification around internal data and updating data and making sure everything is synchronized and it stays synchronized. So this is something that's not even client facing. This isn't customer facing. This is an AI agent coming in and trying to do your sales for you or run your calls or whatever it may be that is kind of like the hot topics right now. It's more so about going into an internal system that is chaotic and being able to bring order to it. However, the way that you're going to bring order to that system would be first to map out where everything lives. What are all of your systems? Go into your journal and label it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. Every single platform you use, why you use that platform, what's the important data on that platform, what kind of insights does it give you, does it give your team, does it give whoever or whatever, and then list that all out. What's the important things? And then do those have documentation to it? Is there a way for someone to go in and say, this is how you use this platform, this is why we use it, this is their steps? If you don't, Is that platform or those steps, do they actually matter? Is it actually driving any kind of business outcome? Start to self-audit. Just do this without any technology. Just go and journal and spend some time to really think about your processes. And I would say the very first thing in automation is to just subtract the stuff that doesn't matter. There's a lot of stuff that you could probably stop doing that probably would not actually hurt your business that much, really. So list all that out. Now, when you come across something that is very important, but it's repeatable, or it's something that you just feel like, gosh, there's just got to be a better way, or maybe you've tried a different system or a SaaS platform or whatever it may be to try to solve the problem, go into any kind of chat bot, whether ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and then just ask it. Say, here is a task that I am doing. Tell me how to automate it. And then see what it comes up with. And then it will give you a list of things to do, but don't take it at face value. Say, hey, then give it a little bit more context around your business or who you are as a person or what kind of work you rather not do or what your budget is or what other things you've tried. And then let it kind of just self-edit and go back and forth and see if it gives you something that makes sense to you. And then say, build it. How do I build this? How do you build this? And it will give you a plan. And it will start to walk you through it. And as you start to hit roadblocks, take screenshots of whatever it is that you might be running into a roadblock to and feed it back into the LLM. Or to say, I don't want to do this. I want you to do this, and see what it does. Now, this is the first step to leveraging AI to actually do something meaningful within your business in a way that's not going to be the world-ending AI agent come to take over everything, and now it's just agents talking to agents, and then there's absolutely no humans involved. That I don't even know how that even makes sense, because then you're not even providing value to anything, because without value being provided to humans, there's no value at all in the technology. That's a side tangent, but this is something I do believe. So again, see what it says for you to do and try to make it happen. Now, there are other things that you're gonna have to do if you want this to be repeatable, and that's beyond the scope of this video. But I just want you to know that AI agents really is just a sequence of steps being done automatically. That's all it is. And a lot of times, your automations probably don't even need AI in it. It's probably just an old school automation where one thing does one thing, does one thing, does one thing, and then you get the output that you want. It's just synchronizing a bunch of steps together. And then if you need some additional context of your business, or maybe you need to read an email and figure out how to craft or respond to something, then you can put in the LLM or the AI into that workflow and then give you that. But it may most likely probably not even necessary. So if all of this is like kind of confusing to you, or you're thinking there's no way that I could actually do this, again, just go to AI and just say, hey, how do I automate this? Even if it's something that the simplest task, how do I automate, booking a date night with my wife? Just find a way to use AI to tell you how it would think about systematizing something. That's all an AI agent is a systemized way of getting an output. So where does that leave us here? Well, if you want to learn more about what AI can do for your small business and make sure that you are in the driver's seat, that you're not feeling like you're constantly behind, or you can't walk away from your business without things falling apart, your teammates coming and calling you, and you just can't get a day off, and you're like, I want to know how to do this and have this skill set to be able to build and create and make sure that it serves my business without having to hire an agency, without having to hire a developer, and being stuck on a monthly retainer just to maintain some code base that, let's just face it, the person you're paying that retainer to is probably not spending that much time looking at, then I would highly recommend you go and take my 5-day AI sprint. This 5-day AI sprint is something where I will take you through 5 days where you're gonna learn the 80-20 of how to leverage AI in a systemized way. And the way that we do that is by showing you how to build a website. Now, you probably already have a website. Your website's probably not that optimized. That's my assumption. But the reason why I use a website to teach you how to use AI, and especially AI agents, is because there's a level of creativity that's involved. There's a level of technical that's involved. And you learn all the basics and then how to create a system that will be repeatable that just grows and gets better over time. And you will be able to own it. You'll be able to understand how to use it without having to understand coding, without having to understand all of the technical bits and pieces. If you can explain your business, if you can explain your vision, then you can make AI work for you and you can learn to control it. So if that sounds like it's interesting to you, go check out the link. I know that it will absolutely revolutionize the way that you operate your business, and your employees are also going to love you for it because you're not going to replace them. You're going to remove all of the guesswork and the things that drive friction in their day-to-day and give them the ability to think in a higher level way and to be more impactful in their role, as well as removing you from all of the things that are bottlenecks right now in your business anyway. So go check that out. I know that it's going to be a huge benefit for you. I guarantee you that you're going to come out with a better website than you already have, and you'll be able to cut out costs from your website that will save you in the long term. And if you don't like the website you build, it doesn't touch your current live website, but it's the skills underneath that you'll learn. That's the important thing. So I want to know what your big light bulb moment is in the comments. What do you think about AI agents? What were you thinking about coming into this conversation? Do you think like Skynet, like AI agents will come, they're going to take over the world and we're going to cease to have any meaning or purpose in this world? Or were you thinking, oh yeah, AI agents, I can't wait to put a robot in my company to create efficiency and save costs, and I can't wait to have just a full stack of employee robots. Like, I want to know where you landed and what was the big aha moment for you. I also want you to take the action of going and figuring out what are your day-to-day actions that you can write out and then give to AI and say, how do I automate this? And then let me know in the comments below what it told you and if it was helpful. And then if you were able to actually implement it. All right, so AI agents, just ignore the hype, ignore the buzzword. It's really just code, nothing new. However, what is new is your ability to leverage it and your ability to harness it and to remove yourself from the bottleneck in your business so you have more time to do the things that you love, you're called to do, serve your customers better. But really, which I think is the real promise to AI that no one's talking about, is it should allow you to step back and do less, but produce more. It's not about doing more to 10x. Forget that. Use it as a utility to get your time back and spend time on the things that actually matter rather than all the stuff that doesn't. I'll see you on the next one.